Hello and welcome to Vox Markets. I am John Human. I'm joined today by Stephan Beringer, Chief Executive of Mirriad Advertising. How are you doing, Stephan?
Very well, thank you. Thank you very much.
Excellent. Excellent. Well, I hear you've had a very interesting start to the new year out in Las Vegas at CES, which is the one of the biggest, or if not the biggest, tech event in the world. Perhaps you could tell us what's been going on. It must have been a great way to start the year.
Absolutely. I love going to CES because it's just such an upbeat way to start the year. It's a melting pot. You have technologies there, you have agencies, you have advertisers, you have the media. There's sort of conference rooms. There's talks, keynotes, etc., panel discussions, and then of course there's the floor where you can see new technologies, sometimes new gadgets, and bigger trends, right? And so in a way, and this time, and I'd love to touch on that briefly. There's also something happening in Vegas, which I think will be actually really remarkable. It will not only happen in Vegas, but I'll touch on that later. Anyway, so happy to, if you want me to, just to explore a couple of lanes in terms of the key topics of this year. If that's okay. So I'll start with the one thing which eventually, has been sort of warming up pre-CES is certainly everything around AI and the manifestation of AI in, the platform ChatGPT, which is essentially, opening our eyes in terms of what AI can actually do.
Yeah, so it's been absolutely terrifying. We've obviously been looking at it as journalists and creators. It is slightly terrifying that this thing's come along, which can do a lot of what previously only human beings could do.
Right. So, and it's remarkable. So if you want to create a new poem or a nice bedtime story, I encourage you. I did tell me a story about a penguin and a candle, and it came out a wonderful story you could read to small children very easily, and they would fall asleep because it's just a beautiful story. Anyway, but that aside, I think it's really sort of opening everyone's eyes in terms of where we are with AI and what can be done, and entering sort of this semantic creative territory, something completely new at that level of depth and scale. And adjacent, I find what has been remarkable is robots and robotics, right? Which is obviously also AI driven. And so now more and more, you have robots welcoming you at stands or exhibitors. And the way they interact with you is actually quite remarkable, right? So they would identify our sweaters and talk about their favorite colors and stuff. And I find it, to me, it was like a step change this time, just seeing these robots doing things that are really surprising. And so clearly, this is now entering a new era. Then I should say, regarding the metaverse, there's still not much change, to be honest. It's still lingering, but nobody really knows. I'm on the positive side, by the way, but it's lingering, and I'm not seeing anyone sort of really saying, well, this is, this and that is happening. There's the device question, and when and how do you invest in the metaverse from a corporate perspective? So that's interesting, but it will come, but it will take time. Then there's a non-CES related topic, which is all about the measurement. Now I'm coming to the marketing and advertising and media, and the whole measurement side of the equation, in terms of, you will have seen last year or 2 years ago when Nielsen, who were the dominant player in audience measurement, really got a little bit not sidelined, but basically new players came on board, and now it's becoming very clear that the industry is looking for a more leveled out playing field, and so measurement is clearly a big topic in terms of also finding sort of the single currency thing that connects the different investments. So that's important. Attention plays a huge role in that context, in terms of to which extent do people pay attention to things, or to advertisement in general. So that's a big topic. And then one of my favorites actually was, and it was outside of the conference arena, the MSG Sphere. I don't know if you've ever heard about that.
No. Sadly, I've not made it to CES yet.
Yeah, okay. You should look it up. Basically, they're building this big dome, which will be home of the biggest LED screen on the planet. I think it's a 16K thing here with 150,000 loudspeakers and what have you not. It's absolutely phenomenal. And I was very fortunate to be able to go inside. I think they're finishing it now in October this year, investing $2.1 billion US. For me, this will be sort of the new form of out-of-home entertainment, frankly, where you will be watching Formula One races, you will be watching U2 concerts, and diving into the sea, flying to the moon, all kinds of stuff in kind of a virtual reality. And we're talking about a big thing, right? They will be hosting 20,000 people. So this is not a small. It's just I've never seen anything so impressive in terms of architecturally speaking. So the MSG Sphere, they will be rolling out 10 or 15 across the globe. Actually, in London, they've got the permission already to do it. So I look forward to the building here. It will take years, of course, but very fascinating.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, immersive entertainment is obviously a massive thing. It's one of the big next steps, as you say, in terms of out-of-home entertainment. Going back to the idea of measurement, attention, these topics coming up at CES must have been music to your ears, because this is the sweet spot for Mirriad. Well,
absolutely. I mean, especially attention, and as you will imagine, we had like really many conversations, discussions, negotiations with partners, with advertisers, with agencies, and it is becoming very clear, that in content it's just becoming sort of a very fixed point on the, in a way, on the radar of everyone in the industry, that ultimately in content is one decisive way to augment attention, or how can I say, add awareness and brand preference, and ultimately drive better results, either if you run it alone, a campaign alone in content, or in conjunction with a TV campaign or a video campaign. And it's becoming very clear, and this is not chatter between sitting at a bar or whatever. These are really serious discussions with top advertisers, the biggest you can imagine, and their agencies. So we're going, I think, very well into the right direction. It's taking some time to establish the new format, but it's just inevitable. It's just happening.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously CES is the place to be if you want to see what's happening in the world of technology, or what's coming up in the world of technology. America's the place to be. Yes. Also, when it comes to adopting and embracing these new propositions commercially, and that's where you pivoted.
100%. That's why, and we had a significant team strength on the ground this time with, sales, BD, partner, programmatic, and so forth, myself. And so, clearly, when you think about where the big ad tech companies sit, where the big entertainment companies sit, the big advertisers, the big agencies, there you have your answer, right? It's the United States of America. And I like to say everything you do in the US eventually delivers something at a factor 10, and you do the same thing, no disrespect, in let's just say France or in Spain, and it's a factor 1. So clearly for us also, it is just the right investment, right? So the pivot for Mirriad into the US has been, strategically and commercially is the exact right thing.
No, absolutely. We saw some very good numbers on that front from you in your trading update towards the end of last year.
Yeah. So we'll, have to be careful because we can't disclose too much, but you will be seeing, ultimately it's a logical step in terms of the US just becoming the dominant part in our business.
Indeed. Well, thank you very much for sharing your experience of CES with us. Hopefully I'll make it out there myself.
Oh, by the way, just on an anecdotal, as I was preparing for our call today, so I asked ChatGPT what were the highlights of CES 2023, and the answer was, well, I can't tell you because my memory or my information stops at 2021. So I'm just saying there's still a lot, a long way to go until it's absolutely ready. But that's just on a fun and anecdotal side.
Indeed. Well, thankfully for that, it means us journalists don't have too much to worry about for the time being.
For the time being.
For the time being. Thank you very much, Stephan. Great speaking to you as always.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thanks.